Today I'm going to share the exact script I've used for the last 2 years that has taken my first year income from this to this. Now, you can see it's a healthy jump. There's a lot of reasons for this, but the cornerstone of that is my sales skills and my ability to get people across the line on a sales call. Whether you like it or not, you need to get better at this. Everyone's going to sell you reasons why you shouldn't be on a sales call, but if you improve this one skill alone, you will drastically improve your profitability. This script is a cross-section of high-ticket online sellers, people like Dan Henry, Rich Litvin, Courtney Sanders, Eileen Wilder, Amy Porterfield. I have taken bits from all of them and combined them into what I call my master sales script. And this script is designed to achieve 3 very specific things. It needs to make people feel like they're heard. I cannot stress this enough. People need to feel heard on these calls. You're asking high ticket, we're doing high ticket, they have to feel heard. You have to help people understand and qualify their own problem. I can tell you all day why something's broken, just like a mechanic, right? But until you feel like it's broken, you're not going to act. So we have to help the prospect, the client, whatever term that resonates with you, understand that their problem is a problem, the impact of that, and that they require the help that we're going to give them. And the third and final thing is it needs to feel like an offer of assistance, not a push or a grab for cash. We need to feel like we're extending them the solution. We are offering them the solution, which is what this is. It is the way in which we can help people understand what we do, how we do it, and then we extend them an offer of assistance. And today, I'm going to share all of it. I'm going to share the script, the structure, the reasoning behind the structure, objection handling, and more. So let's stop faffing around and get into it, shall we? So there is a core frame that I'm going to offer you first that you must keep in the back of your mind when you are speaking to anyone online, in person, at a barbecue, at a meetup, at a parent group, anything, anywhere. We must always take what we do as coaches and translate it back to the tangible result or outcome that a client could get from working with us. We always sit here trying to sell coaching, and that does not work. We must sell them the outcome or the life that they will recognize, the dream that they will recognize by working with us. No one wants coaching. They want stuff for them. And the easiest way you can do this is by saying, so you can, right? Let me give you an example. I want to help you close more clients so that you can go away on that holiday, so that you can spend more time on your hobbies, so that you can put your kids in the best schools, so that you can take your partner away on the holiday, so that you can fly first class. I want to help you sign higher ticket packages so you can afford the lifestyle that you dreamed of for you and your family. I want to help you build the business, the role, the life, the career of your dreams so you can never have to fill out a job application again or even think about it. Right? The so you can frame is absolutely how we buy people into the process. Now, we're going to jump into the main script. You can ignore this. I like to help people build a micro script version of this for when they have short calls or quick discussions, but we're going to go deep today. And I apologize, it's wordsy. I'm going to go through it. I'll kind of make it entertaining. I think I'm pretty funny. We'll see how we go. But you're not going to do this whole script. Don't read this whole page and shit your pants at how intense it is. This is for you to understand core parts, and you will pick and choose the ones that you want to deliver in practice. It really is that simple. You ready? I love this shit. Here we go. Okay, phase 1, build rapport. We're going to keep it nice and simple. Find commonality, right? If you've never done this at a networking event or with friends or at a party when you were younger, I hear you, diehard introvert. Just look for location commonality, occupation commonality, outcome commonality. I'm a business coach. I like to talk business with people. Where's it at? Who do you know? You could talk something simple like, what's the industry doing right now, right? Look for something that you have in common with them. A lot of the time I bond with people over being a parent because it's fucking hard, to be honest. So everyone likes to talk about it. Okay, now phase 2 is very, very important. Pre-framing the call. The reason it's so important is it sets the fundamental bedrock and the agreement of what this call is actually about as an offer of assistance. It sets the tone and the pace. So anytime it goes off track, you can go, I hear you, but can we just bring it back to these core questions so we can get some clarity and figure out if this is a good fit? Now, these first two, phase 1, phase 2, are the only mandatory elements of this script for everyone I teach. I cannot stress this enough. You get this right, the vast majority of it is already locked in. I like to offer it this way. Are you ready to get started? Yes or no? I'm asking for their permission. Always ask permission. If they say yes, it's a micro yes, it's a micro commitment. This is how these calls usually go. I like to run them like you would visit a doctor. I'm going to ask you a series of questions. You're going to answer those questions. I might ask you some follow-ups, offer some alternatives, ask about what you've tried before. And if I feel like I can diagnose your problem and there's a solution that we offer that I feel is a fit for you, I'm probably going to offer you the logistics and details around that. Are you open to that discussion? Again, get that acknowledgement, get that permission. Typically, this feels very low commitment for people, so they always say yes. Phase 3. You bring this in, decision makers, you bring this in if you are finding a lot of your calls are resolving, I need to talk to my partner, I need to talk to my wife, my husband, my significant other, my financial partner. If you find a lot of your calls are ending up that way, there's a lot of reasons for it. It's usually an excuse. But the fastest way to shortcut this in advance is immediately to say, I call it the indirect method, is there anyone else that should be on this call that you feel should be hearing the content of this call or that should get a recording of this call so that they can make a more informed decision with you, right? We're not here to manipulate individuals into problems in their marriage. We're here to make sure that everyone is informed equally, and this always breaks down when someone has to translate on your behalf. So try and get all the decision makers on the call or offer a way to give that information to people afterwards. Why you? Why is it urgent? Why now? Verbally state the reason, right? They need to say it. Why are you here right now? You have a pretty good idea. In this instance, when I'm talking to someone, there's probably a problem in their business and they feel like there's something up. But I need them to say it. They need to tell me, is it clients? Is it leads? Is it income? Is it profit? Is it retention? What is it? What is that thing that they need to move forwards? The first thing I like to ask is, why did you book a call to speak to me? To me, I make it personal now. I'm trying to establish a personal connection. Even if your coaching practice is a business banner and you are hiding behind it and you know what I'm talking about, it's important that you ask them why they want to speak to you. Why specifically me? If they start going like this, I like to say, hey, why specifically me though? Here's 5 other people in my niche. You could have worked with them. Why specifically me? You reached out because you have a problem with this, you have a problem with that. I hear you, but why us specifically? Then you pivot immediately into, okay, why now? Why is it so important to solve your issue right now for you? You may have been sitting on it for a while, you may not have, but why is it important to resolve this right now? I like to offer, I'm guessing that it's A, B, or C, right? You don't know how to find clients. You are worried about profitability. You simply don't have enough time in the day and you're worried about burnout, or you just can't juggle everything. I like to offer the most common objections I've heard in other calls and in my market research and in all those kinds of activities. This further sediments you as an authority in the space because it feels like mind reading. You don't have to do this, but I find it seriously helps. And it also calls out some of those fears they might not feel comfortable talking about. And then we dig. Phase 5 is digging, right? It's an important point. We must dig in. If it's generic, can you expand on that, please? What about? And then what? The strongest 3 words I've ever heard, and then what? You will keep digging and digging and digging. You need to get to the core of it, why they feel there's a problem, why they feel like they're here. What is the core element that they're not speaking of or voicing openly? Why do you think the problem exists? How long has it been a problem? Is it affecting you in other ways? Great example. If someone is coming to you for career help or leadership help, very simply, where is this showing up for you at home? How is this affecting the relationship with your partner, your family? Do you spend time on your hobbies? How's your sleep? All of these kinds of questions help the client self-qualify the impact of the problem. We must keep prodding at this, right? And again, basic listening tools for coaching. We need to listen, we need to reiterate, we need to repeat, right? We must make them feel heard. We must hear them. Engage curiosity. The point of this section here is that we need to keep going. We need to keep going until some emotion is elicited. Why? Because most people play at a surface level. And if they keep playing at a surface level, they are not brought into the call truly. They will not make an emotional decision. They will not step through the uncomfortableness, the fear, the resistance. We must keep asking and prodding until they suddenly realize, and you'll see it, oh, I actually need to change this. And then we move forwards. Phase 6 is extremely simple, right? What have you tried already? What worked for you? What felt like it should have worked but didn't, right? Some of these things are great. I hear this a lot. People go, I did ads. Ads should have worked. Ads should have been the silver bullet, but it didn't work. Now, there's actually 1,000 reasons why ads don't work. I don't run ads currently. I will be later on. You need to get to a certain point so you have the right tools to run ads effectively, and that's what no one tells you. But then you can understand what they've tried, the ways in which they've tried to make this change themselves, which also tells you how much it means to them. If they tried 10 different things and they didn't work, well, now you need to be creative, right? Phase 7, current situation, desired result, and helping them understand their current baseline. We are drawing a line in the sand here, right? This is very important for your engagement going forwards. Ask what metrics they're using. What impact are those metrics having on their lives? Guide them to specifics in their world that is relevant to their world. What are the volume of applications you're doing? What is your weight loss goals tracking to? What are your income goals? Where do you want to be in 5 years? I mean, if we're talking in the career space, you've got a great career, you're doing well. But do you want to be earning double this in 10 years? Well, we need to start now, right? Let's get clear on what that baseline is. I'd like to know where we are so we can better inform where we're going. This frame, I find, helps people remove some of the judgment that can be implicit in these questions, and it's a really great way to help people open up. Are you opposed to sharing ABC information? Now, if you're in the career space, the life space, or the business space, there's a lot of other spaces to be in coaching world, I know. If you are in any of these, please ask for permission before asking deeper questions on the nitty-gritty. You must ask that permission because it will help them remove that judgment, right? It positions you as an authoritarian. It positions you as someone with trust and who can be trusted, but you must ask permission. I like to say, hey, look, this is vulnerable, and I know it's kind of scary to share this stuff, but are you open to hearing what the amount of clients you've actually signed this year is? Are you open to telling me what your income or your profitability is this year? Right? These are scary questions for a lot of people who are in a state of scarcity. Please be gentle. Please be curious. Engage judgment. How many leads? What's your close rates? All those semantic stuff depends on who you're dealing with. Now, if you follow along this far, here is a close that I really, really love. It's not necessarily a close, but it's an essential part of framing your engagement and what success looks like at the end of your program. But you didn't think of that and coming up in a sales call, right? So here we go. No bullshit. This is fantastic. If you were to enroll in our program, where would you want to be in 12 months from now to feel like the investment was more than worth it? Not just worth it, more than worth it. It's the down-to-earth clause or the Kerbick clause. I understand you want to make an extra $200,000 in your business, and that's a fantastic goal. But I like to set realistic expectations and move all expectations to agreements. So if we were to increase your sales by 25% in our time together, and maybe made it easier, faster, all these kinds of things, less gross, less salesy, that would be an extra 50K in hand this year. And if all we helped you do was make an extra 50K this year, do you feel like you'd be more than happy with the investment? Noting that the investment's anywhere between 5 and 20 grand, right? What you are doing here is very, very powerful psychologically. It adds realism. We live in a state of unrealistic optimism. I would love 500 grand to just show up into my bank account, but there's a whole lot of time between now and then. And what you are doing is you're saying, actually, here's the minimum. And is that minimum more than acceptable to you? And when someone willingly says yes to this, super fucking easy. Why? Because in their head, they're now chasing the minimum, not the maximum. So their satisfaction is based on the minimum. Spoiler alert and secret trick, offer a minimum that's typically half of what you get on average, right? If it's time, sell half the time or double the time. If it's cash, sell double the cash. The thing that you can normally get really easily, offer half, and then you'll always over-deliver. Super secret to success. Now we're going to jump into their why. Phase 8. If I was Simon Sinek, this is all I really talk about, and this is all any coach ever asks you when you talk to them on LinkedIn. What's your why, though? What's driving you to want something? Why do you need that thing? What is that big, meaty thing that elicits emotion? What is really driving you to need that? Is it status? Is it hierarchy? Is it relationship? Is it friendship? Is it a state of survival? Why? How would your life be different if you hit A, B, C target? What about D, E, F target? And then you had a plan to get X, Y, Z target. How would your whole life change? How would you show up differently? How would you carry yourself differently? Really double down on what that why looks like. This helps them future pace or future state the equation, right? It helps them imagine. It draws them into that visualization place. It puts them in the desire frame of mind. They now know what the burning pain is, and they're now shifting into that core desire. We're extending the difference between the two so that we can position ourselves in the middle. Now, phase 9 is an important one. Irrespective of how I cut the script up for my clients or how they adapt it themselves, phase 9 has to go in there. What is stopping you from doing this on your own? This question is so insanely powerful. It seems so basic and innocuous. It's not. So many people believe that they can just figure it all out, and they can. Coaches sell time. We sell speed. We don't sell the only option or the only answer. I don't. Working with me will do it in a quarter of the time. That's what you get working with me, right? I fervently believe that everyone in the world, growth mindset, can figure this shit out themselves. But you need to call it out and challenge it so that they confront their own bias on being able to figure it all out on their own. I'll figure it out on my own for a couple of months, and then I'll come back to you in 3 months, right? Ghost town, because they go out of business, or they fail in their goal and pivot and move on, or fear crushes them, or resistance crushes them. You know how this works. What is stopping you from achieving this all on your own without any help? And inevitably, there's 3 answers. These are the 3 core. There's many. I don't know how. I want a proven process, or I want some kind of security or assurance, or I want to get there faster. This is what I hear when I hear that. I need the knowledge or the path. I need a proven path. I need something that has consistency. I need to see more of those results. I need to hear that people have got results from this. Or I want it now. I'm impatient and I want it now. The last one's actually the best, right? Because that's what we're selling as coaches. As I just said, we're selling expediency. We're selling fast path. From here, we want to double down on their commitment, their urgency, and their need. When are you wanting to fix this? Why can't it wait? Why can't we put this off another 6 months? Let's kick it down the line. Let's call out that objection as well and say, hey, let's kick it down the line. I don't think it's not now, right? Do you need it now? I understand you want to fix it now, but how committed are you to making it happen? Are you really vested? Are you going to show up and do the work for this? Will you do the work? Will you take the action? If I'm in your inbox every single day giving you a list of action items, or once a week telling you the 3 things that you need to do to move this forwards, are you going to do it? Are you sure you're going to do it? Are you sure you're sure? Even when it's uncomfortable, are you sure? We are challenging their commitment to the forward progression of their goal, dream, desire, right? Often they don't have someone directly calling out their commitment. So when you're forced to openly admit that you are or are not committed, you become more committed. It's accountability 101. Are you willing to be bravely vulnerable? Are you willing to do the uncomfortable shit? Are you willing to open up? You can often, it depends on your practice, but you can often get people who, when it really counts, start shutting up. You need to call that out early because it establishes trust, and it says straight up, this is going to get weird, but I'm here with you. We're going to do it together. We're going to go hand in hand. All right. So please ask this question. Will you provide the information we need? Will you provide ABC requirements? I actually need a full questionnaire filled out. I need to know your business position, that kind of stuff, right? Call it out. Call it out. Tell them that's going to happen. You don't want unexpected gotchas later on. Now, if someone says, I want to start, I don't know that I'm ready to do it now. I need some time. I like to include this one. And I've put a lot of thought in this because resistance means people push this stuff. They kick the can down the line. What makes you say a month? Is there any reason you don't want to fix it right now? You booked the call for today. What's making you now want to wait? Why do you have to wait until later? Why call now? Call in 6 months. Would you say it's accurate that up until now, or up until this call, you've been putting off solving this problem? How many times have you said next month, next year, next quarter? How many times have you said it's not a good time now, I need to have? And here's the spoiler, everyone's brain works that way. I don't know if any of you have ever been on a weight loss journey. I have. I used to be morbidly obese. I'm now small. The amount of times my brain said start on Monday, that's fucking bullshit. Start now. Start now. And if you're a Monday person, get rid of that shit. Start now. Question it. And how has that worked out for you? The truth is, we're not defined by how we act in times of ease. We're defined by how we act in times of struggle, when the timing isn't right, when something is coming on the horizon, when there is a big expense planned, when there is market uncertainty. At time of filming this, it's a pretty crazy time to be alive. But I'm still closing people because the answer is it doesn't matter. It doesn't. If you put the effort in, you will still get the results. Market be damned. President-elect be damned. Stock market be damned. Right? There is only one way forwards: growth and abundance. Let's help them go there. Anyone can win when conditions are perfect, but a true champion wins when conditions are not ideal, when there is hardship. The truth is, it's never a good time. Having a kid, buying a house, fixing a major problem in your business, and you know life will keep happening. You put it off now, something else will come up. Every single time. If you truly want to solve the problem, can you agree that you have to commit to solving it? And even, or especially, when it's not the right time to do so. Because that's why you're where you are now. Now, the takeaway close. This one's challenging, it's confronting. Do it once you feel a greater sense of confidence in your sales. I only work with people that are ready to show up and drive a result. I'm happy to give you some tools, some guidance, and send you on your merry way. This could be any free tools and stuff you have. We don't do high pressure sales. If you're not committed to getting the result that you really, really want or investing in our program, then we can end the call right now, and I'm happy to send you on your way with all of those free resources. But if you're wanting to solve the problem once and for all, let's talk about, or are you willing to talk about, how we can make that happen. This one is very important. If you've asked some of the other questions, they're in a state of high vulnerability and high emotion. This is kind of intense. It's probably the most intense part of this script, and it is deliberately intense because if you feel that they're a bit wishy-washy, you should hit them with this, because you will either have them go, I don't think it is, which is great because you save the time on the call and the effort of trying to drag someone across the line who's not willing to go. But the vast majority of the time, if you've made it to here and you offer this to them, they'll go, you know what, fuck yeah, let's do this. This is the Jean-Claude Van Damme training montage, and they are pumped now, right? Think about it yourself. If someone openly called you out on this, helped you through this entire journey, and said, look, I'm here to show up if you're going to show up. Are you going to show up? Are you showing up? Let's go. Let's go. It's any given Sunday all over again, right? Which would you like to do? Always an offer. And I am more than happy for people to walk away from my sales calls. I swear. If they walk away because they're not prepared, they're not committed, great. We've saved each other time. Let's live in a state of abundance, guys. We're not here to desperately cling to every single person. The irony is when you do that, more people show up and more people land. All right, the customized close. This one's fun. This is where we can go much deeper on any of the auxiliary stuff, the weird stuff, the questions, the randoms. Okay, I believe you have enough information, and I honestly believe that I can help you. Again, important check-in point. Do you feel like you can legitimately help them? We are not in a state of scarcity. We don't need every client. That's not who we are. That's not how we play. We only help the people that are a tight fit. Does their personality match with ours? Do the values line up? Do we feel that we can truly help them? Please be honest with yourself. Would you like me to share how? Yes or no? Again, we are offering that extension. We're offering that form of assistance. Well, our area is helping whoever you're in, career coaching, life coaching, executives, morbidly obese people, get in shape, introverts that want to start Shopify stores, whatever that is, to get their high desire outcome, lose some weight, get that career, drastically improve their bottom line, so that they can get their desired byproduct. Remember, we went deep on the impact of the rest of their life. In this instance, you're saying, okay, well, if you add 100K to your life, it's so you can go on all those holidays that you wanted. It's so that you can only work 2 days a week, 3 days a week, 4 days a week. It's so you can send your kids to private school, whatever that looks like, right? Remember to wrap in that life impact as well. And we do that by, here's my package or offer, a one-on-one coaching package, a group coaching package. We do this by my proprietary 12-month system. We do this through one-on-one calls weekly over a period of time, whatever this looks like for you. Now, this may not be for you, but I'll let you decide. Does it sound like a good fit for you so far? Again, you'll notice I am constantly asking them, are we okay to proceed? Do you feel comfortable? How do you feel about this? Yes, 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 yes. Right? It's a strong psychological driver and bias. If it's a fit, you say, great. Can I share a little bit about how it works? We assume the sale. We know we haven't talked pricing. We know we haven't talked objections. We're assuming the sale. We're going to give them a little bit of how, so that their risk resistance lowers a little bit. right? We're giving them a little bit of surety, a little bit of certainty. So we list the next steps. And I mean the first kind of 5 to 10 steps, right? The things they can do. They sign up, they might get an email, they might get a questionnaire, they might get a call from someone else who does logistics, right? It might be a VA or whoever. You might have to log into portals. You tell them the next few steps so that they feel like there is some consistency in process here. There is a proven roadmap or a path to follow. Now, I like to keep going with this, the core steps, until we get the first or second major win. Right? When you work with me, the first major win is probably going to be revitalizing your offer. So I'll go until we get to a point where we have a brand new offer or a revised and a refreshed one that is at a much higher premium. You know exactly who you're selling it to, how you're going to sell it to them. Then it's first client, second client, 10th client, first 10K month, second 20K month. Kind of milestones like that. Just pick where you're at. Walk them through your process so they feel comfortable with what's going to happen. Here's an example. We onboard you. We're going to ask a whole bunch of specific questions due to whatever reasons. We are then going to establish a baseline on where you are, your life is, your career is, your business is, whatever this looks like. I'll take those results. I'll understand your key needs. We might make a bit of a plan. It'll take 10 to 14 days and I'll come back to you with a document that says exactly where we're going to go. From there, we begin our weekly sessions where I guide you through the different elements of your client, your ICP, your niche, your offers, your pricing, and then we get you sending offers within your first month. Does that sound great? Brilliant. And at this point, we take a pause. We let it settle. We let it land for them. And then, do you have any other questions? And this loop is real. Is there any other questions? Do you have any questions about the program? Do you have questions about me as a person? Do you have questions about my results? Do you have questions about who I've worked with, how I've worked with, or what my history is, or what led me here? Let them ask questions. There is stuff in their mind. Let it go. And we keep going until they go, okay, well, what does it look like? What does it look like pricing-wise? What does it look like logistics-wise? And if that question doesn't come, I like to offer this. It's not in the script. I offer this. You now know a bit about what we're about. I feel like it's a strong fit. It sounds like you feel like there's a strong fit. And this is where we get to the awkward question, where most people want to ask about what the investment is in both time and finances. Is that in your mind right now? Or is that kind of where you want to play next? And it's a very soft offer, but people will usually sheepishly go, yeah, right? Now here is the trick. Anyone who sells high ticket will tell you this, but I need to stress it. The investment is investment, not cost, not price. Investment is, sounds basic, trust me. The investment is $9,997. You shut the fuck up. Awkwardly so. For as long as necessary for them to break the silence. The reason for this, and look, there's people who rebel against this idea, but they're really chicken shit. It is awkward. It feels gross. It feels weird. You will get comfortable with it. But the point is you must shut up. You must keep quiet. Your brain will manufacture stories and it will want to come out your mouth. Lock that shit down in a tiny iron box and throw it in the ocean. Your job here is to be silent. Absolutely silent. Be warm, be emotive, but do not speak. In their head, they are going to rationalize. Then they're going to jump to emotional and they'll have resistance. Then they'll rationalize again. They'll go through many layers of story and eventually you will get a response. Once you get that response, you can discuss payment options, you can discuss deposits. It depends on how you want to do that. I'm going to do a whole separate video on pricing and all that kind of stuff. Now, if objections come up here, we can jump into them. However, you should not have many at this point. If you've delivered this in this cadence, you understand the reasoning, you've been warm, you've been curious, they've been allowed to be curious. There's not many objections they can really say here that make sense. And that's why we structure the script this way. Now, here's a couple of my favorites because I want to leave you on a high note. I've tried ABC before. I've tried coaching program Z before. I've tried working with this coach before. It hasn't worked. Why are you different? I understand you bought products like this before that didn't work. In order for me to best answer the question, can you give me some examples of something that happened with the prior product that you purchased? Right? Push for specifics. What did go well in that program? What didn't? We're not doing this to cast shade. We never point the finger. Ever point the finger. Okay, I hear you. Great. So it looks like you tried an ad funnel. That's fantastic. But, sometimes these things don't work because there's an essential piece of the puzzle missing. Like, is your messaging and marketing on point? Is your ideal client on point? Well, that's some of the deep modules that I run through in my system. And that means that you can take those and apply them to all your existing learning that you had in the ad space. If we look at life or career coaching, well, I tried a career coach. I didn't get the job I wanted. Okay, great. Why? Why do you feel that didn't work? Did they give you the tactical skills? Okay, great. Did they give you the networking skills? Oh, they didn't give you the networking skills. Okay. Did they perhaps explain to you how to interview better? Or how to create a expansive portfolio that does the selling for you? No, none of that. Okay. Well, that's fantastic, because those are core elements of what I have in my program, right? So take that and turn the liability into an asset. Do you think if you had purchased this instead of that, you'd have achieved your goals faster, right? This one's really, really fun. I hear you paid for an expensive coaching program. Do you feel that if you went and got your MBA, you would have got your results faster? See what I did there? So I'm going, oh, coaching program expensive. It's not really compared to an MBA. I've drawn a very, very high comparison point, right? But they'll go, well, yeah, maybe. Yes, but the investment was 5x and 10 times as long, right? So you've kind of saved some time. You know what doesn't work. Let's try what does. Next objection. I'm on vacation for XYZ time period, 6 months, 3 months, or I have a big work thing and I can't start on this for 3 months. Any combination of this that leads or ends with, I won't be able to take advantage until ABC. That's fine. What I'll do is I'll get you started and then I'll add a month to your package to compensate. That way you can resume when you return. If in the meantime you want to get started on the materials, then you're more than welcome to jump into the member area and start digesting, reading while you're on the beach, while you're away on vacation, if you feel like you want to start doing some of this stuff. The important point is fast action, right? We're going to do a deposit and we're going to get you locked in with the first major hurdles or the first major steps, and then you can go away on vacation and resume the rest when you get back. Does that sound good to you? And I always like to weave the deposit in there as well, because it sets the very clear expectation on income, first steps. It's still forward, immediate movement. I want to talk to a client before making my decision, or I want to talk to someone else that has experienced your world before making a decision. Fine. I encourage this one. Honestly, personally at my level, if people are like, I don't believe you, not an issue. I will put you in contact directly with a client who can tell you whether I'm full of shit or I'm actually good at what I do. And chances are there's like a couple you could find that I didn't really help as much as I could have. They still got more than they invested, but nowhere near as big as a lot of the other people, and that's is what it is. But you can talk to pretty much anyone I've worked with. That's the point. They don't trust you, or the testimonials that are posted publicly, they feel a little bit duplicitous about. I personally hate walls and walls of testimonials because it feels disingenuous and full of shit. It feels manufactured. Now, if you don't have testimonials or case studies or people you can refer them to, I understand that you want to talk to our clients, but I don't like to treat our clients like salespeople. Just like you, or just like them, I'm sure you're busy and you don't want to be bugged while you're living your day-to-day life. And every time that I want to make a sale, you don't want a phone call from a prospective client. So here's what I'll do. If you enroll today, and I'll put this in writing so you have complete guarantee on it, once you log in, you can network with our existing clients once you're in the program, the ones that are currently going through it. You could ask for more details. You can ask for anything you like. They're already in the flow of this, so we're not interrupting their day-to-day. And if you find our testimonials to be a lie in any way, shape, or form, or that the result is not what you thought it was, or someone tells you a negative experience, I'm going to refund your money. That's it. Nice and simple. I don't use this one often. I've used it probably twice. But both of those times resulted in being zero issues. I used them very, very early on, and they were very, very large clients. But they absolutely, once they're in there, you just over-deliver. Problem solved, right? Now, the position close. I understand you're nervous about making this investment, so here's what I'll do. I'll give you a 24-hour pass. I will give you a week's free access. We will do a 20-minute onboarding call. Any of these kinds of things to give them an experienced taste of your curriculum, your community, your program, anything. And I even suggest you make a post to see if people like their investment, or you actively ask questions to our existing client base, right? And then we'll schedule a call in 24 hours. We will circle back. And if you're happy, we'll proceed. Easy, right? So if none of the other stuff works, you can do that. You give them a taster. Now, this last one is a bit of a sneaky one. I got this from Dan Henry, who is a bit of a machine, and he's a bit pushier. And if you're feeling a little more rambunctious and spicy in the sales call, and you feel like they're a bit wishy-washy, right? You've shown them some proof. You've explained to them your capability. On a scale of 1 to 10, how good do you think you are at client acquisition? How good do you think you are at the deep mindset of being an entrepreneur? How good are you at understanding the implicit needs of recruiters when you're looking for an executive role? Good. How good do you think I am? Objectively, how good do you think I am? And inevitably, it's higher than theirs. Why? Because why would they be on a call with you otherwise? Okay, so got it. If we had money on it, who would you bet on to be able to get you the result you want? You at a 3 or a 4, or me at a 7 or an 8? Me. Okay, great. So then how about I work with you to get you to a 7 or an 8, and then you can bet on yourself, right? And this one's a really pushy close. It can feel a little intense, but it scarily enough, it does work. Again, I've only used it a couple of times when I felt that people had done a lot of YouTube research and they felt a very strong sense of self-capability, which is fine, and I love that and I adore it. But I had to call out the challenge that YouTube doesn't actually equate to skill. Now, going forward later on, I have a whole bunch of scripting around how to deal with objections specifically, but if you work through this entire script and you go back through everything we have covered today and pick and mix the pieces you like and do some reps on them, try them out, I guarantee you're going to see less and less objections. This is all about pre-handling those objections. It's all about pre-framing the discussion itself. And remember, it has to feel like they are heard. You have to help people understand and qualify their own problems. They need to draw their own conclusions. Respect people as adults. They are not sheep. Let them draw their own conclusions. Just help them get there. And they have to feel like this is an offer of assistance. It's a helping hand. It's not a hand reaching into their wallet for more cash. It has to feel like a helping hand up. Look, being great at sales and being great at objection handling is a huge piece of your business. It is super important. But one of the biggest pain points outside that is where you even find those clients to have the discussions with. So if you want help with that, take a look at this next video where I show you how I help my clients get 3 to 5 high-ticket clients a month authentically, sustainably, and without feeling gross. Go check it out, and I'll see you over there.